John Livier here, your host for Serious and Silliness Bodybuilding and Serious and Silliness Outcast. Great news. We have a brand new sponsor, Ideal Weight and Aesthetics. This place is a one-stop shop for weight loss, rejuvenation, energy, and anti-aging. This is a brand new startup company located at 160 Lanza Avenue, Garfield, New Jersey. Their number is 732-436-1924. You could also email them ideal@idealweightandaesthetics.com. This is basically what they do. They have a clinician look over all your blood work and they recommend what you should and should not do. They do weight loss, semaglutide and tirzepatide. They offer the NAD injections or drip, which is a brand new technology that everybody is jumping on. IV infusion, testosterone replacement therapy, and peptides, microneedling, and skin therapy. You guys know that I love to support small business. So, really, give them a call, reach out. You'll feel better, it'll make you look better, and you'll be twice the person. You won't be disappointed. Take my word for it. Ideal Weight and Aesthetics. Evolve Nutrition, 110 Route 10, East Hanover, New Jersey. Evolve Nutrition, EHNJ.shop, 973-647-4625. Evolve Nutrition has all your favorite supplements and vitamins, health and wellness products, fresh meals, protein snacks, gym apparel, and accessories. They will ship to all 50 states. If you don't see a product that you want on their website, just give them a call, 973-647-4625, or message them on Instagram. Tell them what you want. They will order for you and they will ship it to you to any state in the country. But the best part is 20% off with this discount code SS20. Or when you call them, just tell them to show the commercial on Serious and Selling This Bodybuilding. Evolve Nutrition, 110 Route 10, East Hanover, New Jersey. The website, www.evolvenutritionehnj.shop, 973-647-4625. And don't forget the discount code SS20 for 20% off your favorite products. All right, Serious and Silliness Bodybuilding. The Tampa Pro was yesterday. And I'm actually really glad I waited to do it today because a lot has happened since yesterday. And we are going to get into all of it. All right. The first thing is Jordan Hutchinson, as you guys already know, wins the Tampa Pro, punches his ticket to the Olympia. The guy looked phenomenal, tremendous progress in his offseason. He definitely deserved the win. It was unbelievable. One was Jordan Hutchinson. Two, Quinton Beastwood. Again, also tremendous progress this year. He should definitely go on and do the Texas or Italy or Germany because there's only three more shows to be able to qualify for this year's Olympia. There is a show in France, but that is for next year's Olympia. So right now, these guys only have three more shows to qualify for this year's Olympia. If I was Quinton, I would definitely do one of these three. Also, out of nowhere, the 2023 Mr. USA, Joe Palacios. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Forgive me. I have a reputation of fucking up everybody's name. So my reputation precedes me. If I did not pronounce it right, it is what it is. I don't know. That guy came out of nowhere. Nobody was expecting this. I mean, he looked phenomenal. If his shape was just a little bit better, if he had a structure like Quinton or a structure like Jordan, he would have won because, as far as I'm concerned, it was the best back in Tampa. We will show you the pictures. Incredible. And number two, John Jewett. So before we get into all the bullshit, let's just give credit where credit is due. Let's look at these top four guys and show you exactly how good these guys were. So here we go. And okay, here is obviously your top four. So there's Jordan, Quinton, Joe, and John Jewett. Okay. So here we go. All right. Here's a front double buy. All right. And clearly, this front double buy is between, as far as I'm concerned, Jordan and Quinton. Quinton might take this because he has a beautiful frame and a beautiful V taper, and he's so wide, but it's very close with Jordan. And same thing with these front lat spread. Even though your eyes go to Quinton in these shots, okay. Even though Jordan's legs are amazing, your eyes go to Quinton in these shots, okay. Now, this is when you start looking at Jordan. Jordan's legs were tremendous. Jordan has was a lot thicker on top. You're still looking at Quinton and Jordan, but Jordan, obviously, his side shots kind of dominate. And of course, his rear shots dominate from Quinton. Quinton really does have to work on his back, although very much improved. He needs to bring his back up. If he brings out his back up and puts on maybe 5 or 10 pounds of muscle in his offseason, 2026, he is going to be a force. Now, look all the way to the bottom right, right here. This is Joe. This is what I mean when I say clearly the best back in Tampa. His back was amazing. Look how low his lats are. Look at the detail. His glute and hamstring tie-in. He was just as conditioned as Jordan or John Jewett or the rest of them. This was probably his best shot, clearly his best shot. Not enough to win, but clearly his rear double by was his best shot and probably the best rear double by on stage. And here is your lat spread. And again, you really see this guy, Joe, up here to the right, Palacios, if that's how you pronounce his name, really, really took the Tampa by storm. Nobody was expecting him. But, at the bottom, when you go to the side shots, as far as I'm concerned, this is clearly Jordan shots. I mean, his small waist, his legs look amazing. He has tremendous chest, a shoulder, and buy and try muscle separation. Quinton is good in the shot too, but this kind of exposes that he needs a little bit more size. These side shots because he's very tall. And John Jewett has a great shot here, but his abs aren't as defined as and his muscle separation isn't as good as Jordan or Palacios. Basically, a tremendous top four battle. All in all, I agree with Jordan winning. Okay. I think out of everything, he brought the best package. All right. And that's what you're judging. You got to judge who has the best package. Okay. Symmetry, balance, conditioning, structure, shape, and of course, size. Let's not forget, this is a bodybuilding contest. Okay. Now, abs and thighs. This was tough. Yeah, this was tough. I probably would have to give this one to Quentin because his waist is so small and his abs look so good and his quad separation was great. Obviously, Jordan's quads were much bigger, just as separated. But you keep looking at Quentin's midsection and how small it is, and how tiny his waist is. His structure is phenomenal. The guy's got to have what? I mean, he can't have more than a 28, 29 inch waist. I mean, that's amazing. And this is what I mean by if this guy's structure was a little bit better. Okay, he has a very thick waist. So since he has a thick waist, he doesn't have a tremendous V taper. The only thing he could do, and I know it's going to be a little bit controversial to say, the only thing, in my opinion, that this guy could do to overshadow his waist is put more size on. I know people say, but when you have a thicker waist, the wider the shoulders and the wider the quad sweep, the smaller the waist looks. Okay. Most muscular, again, tough one. Uh, in the most muscular shot down here, I would put John Jewett in last. Uh, Palacios, most muscular, is amazing, but it does seem like he lacks a little bit of chest striations. But when you look at Jordan and Quinton's most muscular, they have beautiful physiques, and these shots clearly show how beautiful their physiques are. They knew what shots to hit. They knew what most muscular to hit. Quinton knew this most muscular is going to show how wide his shoulders are, still showing his abs, his quads. Uh, but at the same time, he does not have much separation and striations throughout his chest and shoulders, where John Jewett, listen to me, I apologize. Jordan Hutchinson does. I have to see the scorecards. I wouldn't be surprised if this was a very, very close 1-2. I wouldn't be surprised if this was a 1 point show. Okay. Um, let's let's move on a little bit. All right. Let me actually click out and just talk to you guys for a second, okay? For everybody that wants to argue with me that this generation is not as good as the last generation, let me explain something to you guys. This was an extremely talented, deep lineup, but make no mistake about it, these were second tier bodybuilders. Okay. I will put these second tier bodybuilders up against any generation of second tier bodybuilders. These guys look fantastic. Now, obviously, we know who the first tier are. Okay, Samson, Hottie, Derek, Martin, Nick, Andrew Jack. Okay, we all know they're gonna break into the top 5, 6, whatever the case may be. But the but this lineup was so deep that guys that we were constantly talking about didn't even break the top 6, 7, or even the top 10 at some instances where we're going to talk about right now. Let's just go back and check it out. All right. Now, okay. Justin Shire. Obviously, to him and to everybody else, he was a disappointment. Okay. He has made improvements. All right. He looked good. He was a little soft and a little small for this lineup. Okay. Here it is. Now, this is what I mean by this is how good the this lineup was, being a second tier class of IFBB pro bodybuilders. Okay. Shire made improvements, but still in this lineup could not break. I believe he couldn't break the top 10. And he did not nail his conditioning. As you could see, his glutes and hamstrings were not as striated and hard. And you can see he's holding a little water in his lower waist there. Um, this was a very, very tough lineup. But I am here. If Justin Shire is watching this, and I doubt he is, don't give up. You're a very young man. Okay. You have what it takes. And what I mean by what it takes is, yes, you have all the tools, but you have grit, hard work, and a blue collar mentality. So just go back to the drawing board, see what you did wrong, and fix it and do what you got to do. Okay. You have a tremendous fan base. You are way too young to throw in the towel. Just keep this as a learning experience and come back better next year. Or even if you want to get a little bit more stage presence and practice and do another show, do Texas, you might as well. You're in shape. What if you come in 5, 10% better by Texas? You might be able to redeem yourself. But you are way too young. You have way too much talent, and you have way too much skill, and you have way too much work ethic to throw in the towel. And I know you aren't. You made it public. You made a public post on Instagram for everybody to read. Why don't we go and check that out right now? I'll read it to you guys. Justin is kind of one of my favorites, but I'm not gonna lie, I did pick him to win because I thought his structure and I thought he made enough I thought he made enough progress that he was going to be up there with the big boys, but that wasn't the case. Okay, here's what he wrote. Objectively, I took this showing and see a better bodybuilder than the last time I was on stage. I was bigger and more conditioned. I still need to be bigger and I still need to be more conditioned. Yes, both of these are true. But things are tracking the way they need to. Better than last time is honestly what the game is about. And I know I achieved that. Yes, you did. I'm not going to sit here and say I didn't get an honest look or say anything negative about the judges. The truth is, this was a lineup full of very big guys. Everyone absolutely brought it. My lack of size was exposed. It was humbling, but I know there's a lot of value in that. Sometimes a good old fashioned kick in the gut is exactly what you need, and I'm truly grateful for it. I also want to address the last photo in this slide. Let's see, last photo. I believe this is when he was in his off season. The last photo in his slide. Okay, this one. I had been dealing with serious gut health issues throughout my entire last offseason, limiting my ability to eat or utilize food properly. The downstream effects of the gut health created a lot of inflammatory issues, resulting in some pretty debilitating joint pain. With the help of whoever that is, Dom Kuzo, we got my gut health in check, and I'm extremely grateful for the help. So thank you, brother. So that's it. You already know what you have to do. Just go back and do it. You're too young. You have too much of a fan base. Your YouTube channel does well, and you have all the structure in the world. You have the tools. Man, it is just you guys like him, and we're going to go over Beef Stew because he's another one. You just happen to be in one of the deepest, most talented era in open bodybuilding, period. And I don't care what anybody says. I really don't. But keep on going, man. Like you already said, you're taking it as a learning experience, and you're going to continue to grow and do better. And I truly believe that you guys are way too young and have way too much work ethic to just to give up. Now, the other guy we're going to talk about is Beef Stew. Okay, he's another one. All right, Beef Stew. Let's see. Let's go to him. Okay. Uh, did he post anything? Was this okay? Here we go. Now, Beef Stew came in ninth. Disappointing for him, surprising for the rest of us. We all had him in the mix, top five, top six, so on and so forth. Okay. I am going to say the same thing. Beef Stew is way too young and has way too many tools to throw in the towel. He needs to continue, get his head together, decide whether he wants to do Texas or another show after that, or pack it in and work on his flaws for next year. Whatever he decides, or him and his crew, I am obviously supporting that he continues down the line because these guys are very talented. Again, you are just in an era of open bodybuilding that is extremely talented. And you know what's going to happen after this era? I guarantee it because bodybuilding is a cycle. The next era is gonna drop in talent. I guarantee it. Okay, this always happens, no matter what. This always happens. This is a deep, 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 talented open men's open bodybuilding in the IFBB right now. Okay, and this is exciting for us. It's exciting for fans. It's exciting for YouTubers. It's exciting for all the social media guys that love it. It's probably exciting for the bodybuilders too, but don't give up. You're too young and you have too your fan base loves you. Your fan base is always on your side, with the exception of some of the assholes that have something to say. But besides that, 90% of your fans love you and want to continue to see you do well and grow as a bodybuilder and as a person. So keep on going. You're too young. And again, same thing like Justin. You have all the tools. And here's another thing. You have the ability. Justin and Beef Stew has the ability to seek out the best guys in the business. You want to consult with the Aceto, Farah, Chad Nichols, Milos. They'll be happy to work with guys like you. Guys like Justin and Beef Stew, that is a phone call away. And I would strongly suggest that you guys actually utilize the help that you can get from the best of the best when it comes to bodybuilding gurus, because it's right there at your beck and call. Why not? You can't. You have nothing to lose. You have everything to gain. Just keep your head up and keep going. Let's see what he wrote. Okay, here we go. Blew it in Tampa, ninth. This is becoming a theme. I am progressively getting worse at the sport by placings. I'll put together a proper write up of what went wrong on my professional muscle form thread. So keep an eye out for that for those who are interested. Basically, I ran a very simple and similar peak to what I've done in past years. Was on track to look good, but ended up getting too dehydrated. I lost a lot of pop that I had just a few hours prior and generally looked bad. About 10 a.m. Saturday, I looked very good, but 1 p.m. it was falling apart and I hadn't even realized it backstage. Should go without saying, but this is my responsibility and my mistake. I was very close to nailing a new best look and fucked it into the wall at the end. For the love of God, do not comment making excuses or coping on my behalf. That's super gay. Only people to blame is myself, as it always is. Also, if you tell me to get a new coach, I'm blocking you immediately. Okay. Sorry about that, Stu. All right, never mind. Blue is always great. I failed to communicate properly with him, so he wasn't aware of what was going on. All right. All the credit on taking the responsibility on him. So if this is true, what he says, that he did not communicate well with his trainer or with his coach, that I'm sure he's paying decently, well, then at least he knows it, and he will continue and do better next time, hopefully. All right. So all these guys, keep your head up and keep going, especially guys like Justin and Beef Stew. Now, let us talk about a legend, as far as I'm concerned, that is now retired. This was John De La Rosa's last show. And here he is. He is retiring now, and he's going to start a family with his beautiful wife. I have always been a fan of John De La Rosa. And the reason why I was a fan of John De La Rosa is John De La Rosa comes from a blue collar background. He was an elevator mechanic before he turned pro and decided that he was going to be a professional bodybuilder and leave the trade behind. Now, let me tell you something. Do you realize what a hard decision that was? Okay. It wasn't like, oh, well, that's easy. Just be a professional. No. Elevator mechanics make a shit ton of money. Number one, it is very technical. And number two, there's not many out there. He would have had a fantastic career as an elevator mechanic if he would have stayed with it. There is a huge drive for people to become elevator mechanics. There's huge drive for people to become trades in general. So that being said, if you young guys out there are somewhat confused, yes, an elevator mechanic makes well over six figures every every year with bennies, with retirement. I fully suggest elevator mechanic, electricians, HVAC, which if you guys don't know, that's heating and air conditioning, plumbing. You go down the list of trades that people are uh, avoiding and that they need good young men to fill those spots. Okay, here's a stat. For every five tradesmen in this country that retire, only two take their place. So, what do you think is going to happen? That's right. The price of these guys, the salary of these guys are going to go up because they are rare. And even as much as we want to see women do these trades too, women just don't gravitate to the trades. They just don't. Even though it's open to women, they just don't gravitate to the trade. So that cuts the population in half to only men, and then even in half again to only men that don't want to go to college and will go to trade school. Anyway, that's why I always admired John De La Rosa. But as far as his bodybuilding career, I believe he was definitely an Olympian, I believe twice, if I'm not mistaken, either two or three times. He has won a lot of shows. I don't know how many, a handful, two, three, four, I'm not sure. and he's went through a hell as far as personal life with an ex, and now he has a beautiful wife, and he is going to start a family. And it is perfect timing for him to retire. He has nothing else to prove. And I wish him all the luck in the world. I texted him today, so maybe we can get him on and talk about his career a little bit. But other than that, there is one more thing that we have to discuss about this Tampa Pro. And yes, you guessed it. Where was Lionel Becky? And my answer to that is who gives a fuck? Lionel Becky needs to disappear and just go do something else. Okay? Clearly, he does not want to compete anymore. His last show was 2023, and he took a shit on that show. He didn't even respect himself enough or bodybuilding enough to come in shape. He looked horrible. And then this one was his awaited return, and he never showed up. Okay? It says undisclosed reason. I don't care at this point what you're under. I don't give a shit. You could cry me a river, okay? It has been several years. If you can't figure it out, whatever personal issues you have going on should have been resolved by 2023 to 2025. I just don't give a shit about you anymore, okay? You are the reason why I'm coming down so hard on Lionel Becky is because when you see Lionel Becky in his prime, he had all the tools in the world to be a top five Olympian. He had all the tools in the world to possibly win an Arnold Classic, and he just let it go. He just let it all go. He just literally took all the tools that God has given him and threw it into the fire and said, fuck it, I don't want to do it. So, that being said, I don't give a shit about Lionel Becky. All right, guys, there you have it. Jordan Hutchinson will be going to the Olympia. I hope that he does amazing at the Olympia. He seems to be a very good person and a tremendous bodybuilder. I love seeing new blood coming up and getting in the mix. I love seeing the future of bodybuilding. This Tampa Pro was so exciting with tremendous talent. Um, if I'm missing anything that I didn't talk about because a lot has happened, just put it in the comments, and then you guys know that I will be live 8:30 Monday night with Lee Priest. I think we'll be making fun of Lionel Becky, and of course, you know that I'll be talking about a whole bunch of other God knows what with Lee Priest. So again, guys, thank you. Like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you get all the great comment from Serious and Cylinder Bodybuilding. And I will see you soon. Peace.